And now for the next presentation, I will switch to English. I hope the viewers don't mind, because we will travel all the way across the Baltic Sea to Finland. And actually, I hope we're going to experience the benefits of technology and how it provides us productivity. Because right now, I want to address and speak to Marko Oinas, the Interim Executive Vice President of YIT Limited, and he will talk about the insights into YIT's global research and practices on productivity. Good morning, Marko.
Good morning.
Excellent. I hear you, I see you. So for the next 20 minutes, our attention is only on you.
Thank you so much, and it's a privilege to be here. As a start, I've been working for 25 years now in YIT in different positions. So I've been seeing at least some bits of the productivity development, and I hope that during my presentation you will get the glimpse of the things that we have done and where we are going, and also some information and news from the global industry. In the front page photo, you can see actually our test bed, so to say. We established a showroom made from 2 volumetric modules to Tampere, and we've been using exactly the same types of modules in the whole apartment building, and I will tell you more later about that one. One slide about YIT. So we are, so to say, a Nordic company, I would say North European company, working in 10 countries, and we have about 8,000 people working for us, and we've been specialized in the infrastructure sector, also the business premises, housing, and the late addition is the partnership properties, where we can be as actually an owner for the buildings that we built, partly. This graph shows a study from Boston Consulting Group, that what are the things that will change the construction business in the future. What is the likelihood, which is on the x-axis, and what is the impact to the industry on the y-axis. And actually you can see that on the right top corner there's the BIM, the building information modeling. There's prefabricated building components. There are some advanced project planning tools and real-time mobile collaboration. And I will tell you some examples of these ones, so which will change the industry, and already the change is happening. We made an internal study inside YIT about global companies that have industrialized their production and I would say also the design flow. And we put them to this kind of a matrix that on the rows you can see the division to the panels and volumetric modules, what is also the essence of the prefabrication. And on the columns you can see the materials being used. And we see quite the familiar and big names from the industry, and we see that those volumetric modules are especially increasing their share in the Asia and Europe and some parts also in the US. So production is going to the more finished products that can be done in good conditions inside the factories. And with the modules, you can actually achieve about almost 95% completion rate. So almost everything is already in place when they are shipped to the site. This timeline shows the beef, so to say. The beef in the hamburger lies in the middle. It does the same in the graph. So you can see that at the same time when we are doing the foundation and groundworks at the site, we are producing those structures and modules or elements in the factory. So we are doing things parallel. We are dividing then and shortening the lead time. And on the left-hand side, you can see that the BIM, the building information modeling, is a core, like a red line to the story. So you need to have that information flowing throughout the process. So then you will get the benefits from the data, and you actually enrich the building information model throughout the design and production phase, and actually you can use it in the life cycle at the end. Here are some steps that we've did in our YIT housing. We've been quite heavily involved, of course, with the concrete elements starting from like 1960s and 70s, and but we've had our own wood panel factory in Hämeenlinna from '85, and we are now being able to develop the production in that sense, and we've been going through more and more centralized product development and more prefabrication usage in our buildings, and we are close to 10,000 apartments already that are actually done with the bathroom pots. So they've been increasing our productivity quite a lot. And of course, now when we are entering to the world of BIM, the BIM is not the new thing. Actually, I made my master thesis in 1996 about the BIM usage, and it's been 25 years and no big leaps happening. But I see that at this moment, those systems and standards and software, they are quite mature already. So we can actually start taking the benefits, not only in the design phase, but also in the production and at the site. Here is an example of increasing productivity and also increasing quality when we are using those prefabricates. So this photo on the right-hand side just shows a glimpse of the ingredients of this kind of a bathroom pot. So actually you have everything in place already when it's arriving to the site. So you have even the toilet paper holder is in place, all the glass wall for the sauna is in place, even most of the HVAC technology is in place. So you can see actually the ventilation machine on top of the washing machine and on the right hand side. And why we are doing this is that actually we can decrease the work on site, and we've calculated that actually about half of the interior works, the overall interior works of the apartment comes with one lift. So it comes with this prefabricated bathroom, and we can shorten about 2 months our construction time using these pots. So we've been increasing the share throughout the years, and we've been very happy with our own development. So we have developed our own catalog for these modules. So it's like YIT design. We have several different models, and of course, when you are in Finland, you need the sauna in the bathroom pot. But you can see that the quality is in a good level, and it's quite easy to operate with these ones because everything has already been decided. And with the prototypes, we made the prototype for each new model, so we can fine-tune the things, the features and the measurements, and then the actual production for hundreds of these kind of pots will start. Then another thing about going to the prefabricates, and actually in this building, this is the pre-phase before the bathroom pots are being installed to the building frame. So you can see those concrete elements in place. They are the hollow core slabs are the ones that looks like a stripes in the layout, and then you can see those pits that are waiting for the bathroom pots. And the next slide shows that when those prefabricated wall elements are in place, also the internal, the apartment, the dividing walls are in place, the facade elements are in place, and those dark gray cubes are those bathroom pots. So, and on the top left corner, you can see that actually the last one for this floor is being dropped down, and those guys are not just guiding it into the pit, into the place. Those are waterproofly covered. They are like sealed, so there's no need to go inside the toilet or the bathroom during the construction phase. At the later stage, we will open it and connect it to the HVAC, but until then, it's like sealed. So if you compare these two photos, you can actually see that it's like building from the Legos from the children's game. So you just take these into the site at the real time, you install them to the place, and then you start, of course, the next layout and next floor. And actually it takes about a week to complete this installation for one floor. Then you do the concrete casting for the seams, and it dries out the weekend. And next week, from Monday, you start from the version or starting point, which is in the photo as we speak, and what you can see at the moment. Then one sort of say development path is these volumetric modules. And as I showed you from the global study, that many companies have already went to this direction, and they have been quite highly automized and robotized even the production of these. We made our first module pilot to Tampere, and it was handed over this summer on June. And actually it consisted of about 100 different modules. And from the layout on the right-hand side on the top, you can see that we have 1-room apartments and 3-room apartments. And the 1-room apartments are coming with one module, and the 3-room apartments are done and completed from 2 modules that are being joined together. And this is made for the rental purposes. And on the lower right-hand side, you can actually see the photo as it looks like after the finishing of the modules or installing the modules into the place. Here's a footage from the site video camera. It's a little bit blurry, but you can see the idea. So there's one module being lifted at this place at the moment. There's one truck on the ground waiting for the next module to be lifted, and it takes the installation about 20 minutes per module. And the whole frame from the start, the top of the parking hall, the whole frame made from these modules, it took about 1 week, less than 1 week to be accomplished. So as you can see, of course, we look to the weather forecast that it's dry and nice, and then we just press the button, and that sort of say train of lorries from Helsinki started to flow to the Tampere, and we installed them to the place. Even the lift shaft is made from wood, and the lift operator Kone said that it's easier for them to install the lift to the wooden frame because the wood is precise, and the tolerance compared to the construction, to the concrete versions, is much tighter. So we are talking about millimeters, and in concrete elements, we are talking about tens of millimeters of the tolerance. So the wood is more accurate in the measuring. Then a couple of words about another things, what happens at the site when we are, and when the industry is going forward with the productivity improvement. I think we all have heard about lean, and actually the lean started from the Toyota factories long ago, and they established this kind of removing waste principles. And lean is, of course, quite a big overall thing, that ideology that covers many things. But the essence of lean, when we are talking about construction production, can be seen on the right-hand side. Those green, red, and yellow bars shows quite visually that what it's all about. So we have in our processes, it's not only the construction, it's everything in the financing, in the design phase, and so on. We have those quite a lot of those green bars that are actually adding the value to the process, adding the value to the client. Then we have these red ones, what are actually the waste in our processes, completely unuseless things that can be removed, at least reduced to quite a certain amount. And one example of this kind of waste is that we have too much movement inside the sites. People are going to take and pick over the tools or the materials. We can have the site offices, the barracks quite far away from the actual working place, and all that movement is unnecessary activity like waste. So not taking out those value-adding activities, but reducing the amount of necessary or unnecessary activities, we can actually shorten the lead time. We can improve the productivity. And on the lower right-hand side, you can see a glimpse of a construction schedule that has been done with this kind of takt time scheduling. So instead of planning for floors, we are planning for apartments or apartments in two sectors, the dry side and the wet side, meaning the bathroom. And we are not talking about what happens this week, but what happens this morning part of the day and what happens the late part of the day. And with that precision, we can identify that, okay, there you can see the waste, the empty spots in the calendar that can be taken out to reduce the lead time and make it more efficient. We are always in control what happens at the site. We can react if we can see that, okay, this work phase is being delayed, and it will have an effect for the forthcoming work phases. So we can increase the resources, we can change some working methods, and we can react. And of course, when we are doing these kind of things, we need to take care of the logistics to improve that. It's not about a big chunk of chips and sheets, for example, lying on the floor, waiting to get damaged, but it's just the precise amount of gypsum wall delivered to the site and to the apartment at exact time. Then it works like in the factory, and we have got quite good results out of this one. Okay, the last slide of my presentation and like a summary. Some facts how to improve the productivity. The BIM, we should take it from the theory into the practice, use the tools that are already in place in the market, improve the gaps between the software. Then, of course, emphasize the better pre-planning. The better you pre-plan the works and the site layouts and the material deliveries, the easier is to do and to achieve that better productivity. Then the takt time production, we can shorten the construction time, we can take it in the more control and have that in that way get the better results. And the prefabrication, do as much off-site work as you can. Think about the efficiency of those prefabricates. Of course, if the market allows, so you have enough competition, you get good prices for the prefabrication, then it can be done. If there's only like one supplier with the high prices, of course, it goes to the other way, and it's not functioning the way we want. And of course, the quality in the prefabrication. So we can see that we have less responsibility repairs, less errors, mistakes on those parts that are being done at the factories in good conditions, compared to the moist and quite dark conditions that in many cases happen at the site. So the quality increases also. I've used about 19 minutes of my presentation time, and I'm going to end this and have a nice seminar and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Marko, for your presentation. Please don't go anywhere. I would like to use the last minute for one question because our participants are sending in questions, and I would like to take the question from Arturs in Slido platform. By the way, if you want to send in questions, write G 280 to participate. And there's one question for you, Marko. When talking about the modular buildings more widely, what do you see? Where are the bottlenecks in development? If you could give us a brief answer about the bottlenecks in these modular projects, we would be very happy to hear from you.
There are two main bottlenecks. The one is the volume, that how many of these modules can be produced. So the more the merrier, as they say in English. So you should have enough repetitive, like a continuity in the production. So if you take an individual module, it's not efficient, it's not productive. But if you can make 100 that are quite close to each other, then you can take, of course, the effectiveness of doing things and improving the way you go. And another thing is the flexibility of the design. So if you make just quite standard layouts and then just dream about, okay, you can fill the country with this 1 room or 3 room apartments, it's not realistic. You need to have the flexibility because all the construction sites and plots are different. We have different customers, so you have to ensure some part of flexibility. But a good question, yeah.